Congratulations, woohoo, you're in conditional period. Fantastic. It's Donal Ward-McCarthy here with 311 Realty Group. So, conditional period, so exciting. So now you get to do some due diligence. So first off, financing, most important. We assume that that condition is in there. So financing, we want to make sure the bank qualifies the house itself. So prior to this, you had a pre-approval from the bank, which has many qualifications that have to be sought. So what we do is we send the paperwork straight away to either your mortgage broker or the bank so that they can start processing that and actually qualify the house specifically and give you a commitment on financing for the house. Also, from a financing perspective, likely we'll have an appraiser going through. That's an appraiser, third party appointed by the bank to go in and make sure that we're not overpaying. They're making sure as well too, because they're lending, 80%, 90%, 95%. They're lending that much of the value of the home, so they want to make sure that you're not overpaying for the home, so that their money is not at risk as well too. So aside from the agent having done in the previous steps, having done a market evaluation, the appraiser also does their own to ensure again that you did not pay too much. Nextly, home inspection. Okay, so what to expect, what not to expect. So all homes have issues, okay? We'll be looking at the roof, the mechanical structures, the plumbing, the HVAC systems. But what we're looking for here really are deal breakers. Deal breakers would be major structural concerns with the home. Maybe the house needs to be jacked up or it's subsided, or like in the case in some areas in Toronto, you're built on ravines and stuff like that. So there may be major structural issues. That's really where you strongly consider walking away unless that deal breaker is factored into the price. And also you may not be the client who wants to take that type of situation on, okay? Or you may be. Next, purchasing a condominium, we're going to do a status certificate review. That's where your lawyer will actually get the documents from the condominium corporation who run the entire building, the condominium. And they're going to be looking for items such as any special assessments. A special assessment is where there might be an item that comes up for either a major ticket renovation item or a litigation issue that they hadn't foreseen in their monthly money going towards the reserve fund that can't be covered. And if there's a shortfall, basically all the owners have to chip in to pay for that shortfall. Want to make sure that isn't in the works, and if it is, that you know about it. We mentioned the reserve fund study. How is that? Do they have enough money put aside for doing, let's say, the roof in 5, 10, 15 years' time? Whatever the construction company who goes in and does an assessment, every 3 years here in Ontario, they have to get a study done by a structural company to make sure that they are putting enough money aside. I mentioned litigation. There's always standards, or there are always standard litigation issues with condominium corporations. There might be slip and fall kind of stuff, but we're looking for major litigation where we don't know the outcome legally, and that may end up in, as I mentioned, a special assessment. Insurance, and this is more the case with houses as well as condominiums. So insurance, we're looking for aluminium wiring. Plumbing, what type of plumbing? Is it Kitek Plumbing in a condominium? Do we have knob and tube? Is there a fireplace? Is there an old oil tank? So insurance will have housing insurance. If we find any of these, we may have to jump through a few hoops when we close on the property. We just want to know and make sure that we're aware of that, the insurance company is aware of that, so that we take care of those items. Also, in conditional period, we want to let the lawyers know that we've gone conditional on the property and we may well require their assistance. They may want to review the agreement to purchase and sale at that moment as well too before we go firm. So fantastic that you're at this point, conditional period. Hopefully everything goes well with the financing, the home inspection, status certificate review, all that stuff, lawyer review of the agreement to purchase and sale, and we can move forward to getting you firm in this transaction, moving you towards home ownership, whether it's your first, second, or investment.